What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a story time for y'all about something that a friend of mine witnessed that honestly made him feel like he was living in a period of Grand Theft Auto, or a game of Grand Theft Auto. Time period is what I was going for. I don't know. Anyways, it should be a fun story time. Before we get into it, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. You'll get sucked into GTA. And without further ado, let's go. Alright, so I think every now and then everybody has something that they witness or see that makes them think like, oh, are we living in this simulation? And this is one of those incidents. Usually when you're driving around, you see some people getting road rage, some people getting pissed off, but it's not like a super common occurrence for people to get so irritated while they're driving that they start trying to rip people out of cars. But I guess for whatever reason, my friend was in some pretty heavy traffic, like to the point where it was almost stopped. And he looks over, and a couple cars ahead of him, he sees this guy who's kind of hanging out of the window, and he's screaming at the car in front of him, and he's blapping his horn over and over again. And he's just telling them that, like, they've got to go, hurry up. And the only problem with this guy that's telling everybody to hurry up, freaking out on the car in front of him, is that there's really nowhere to go. Like, it's bumper to bumper traffic. If the person in front of them could move, sorry, I don't know what happened with my voice there, then they would move. Nobody's just going to be sitting in traffic for the fun of it, right? So the person in front of him, I guess, kind of flips him off or does something, and that sets this dude off. He was obviously already mad, but now instead of just hanging out the window, flipping him off, screaming at him, honking the horn, he gets out of his car. I mean, the traffic is stopped, so it's not like, it's that bad, and he walks up to the other car and starts banging on the window. But I guess this dude, in his infinite anger, didn't realize that you're supposed to put the car in park before you do that. Because his car starts kind of rolling towards them, and it rear ends them. And when this guy realizes that he forgot to put, the car in park and it had rolled down the hill, he's like, oh my god, look what you made me do to my car. Somehow, this dude assumed that, it was their fault because he had decided to get out of his car and come attack them without hitting his car in park. I don't know where the logic in that comes from, dude. I feel like if you get out of your car and go to attack someone and you don't put it in park, that's 100% on you. Yes, I guess theoretically, if they wouldn't have made you, quote-unquote, so angry, you wouldn't have done it, but most people also just don't get out of their car on a daily basis to go beat on someone's window. Anyways, now he's really freaking out, and he starts banging on the window, hard, to the point where it's probably gonna break the window, and the dude in the car gets out of the car. And at that point, they start, fighting on the street, wrestling around. Keep in mind, this is in traffic, and people are honking their horns now, some people are filming. And finally, some people start, getting out of their cars, some dudes that were a little bit bigger than, the two guys fighting. They go over there and start pulling them apart, trying to get the crazy dude out of there. Everybody who had seen it gone down kind of knew that this dude started attacking the car out of nowhere. Anyways, this crazy dude is not having any of it, and he's like, I've just had enough. I've had enough of it, people treating me like this. And he starts to, make a break towards the driver's side of this dude's car. Obviously, everybody kind of doesn't really know what's going on, and people go to stop him, but he opens the driver's side door and goes to get in the car, and I don't know what his plan was, because there's still traffic, and at this point the person in the car in front of them isn't even in their car. But he goes to get in their car. I don't know if this dude thought he was living in GTA and the NPCs would just move out of the way if he hit the gas, but he starts trying to steal this dude's car that he just attacked. And at that point, people are like, we're calling the cops, we're calling the cops. And as soon as they say that, this dude hops out of the car that he's trying to take and says, fine, I won't take it. And just starts running off the freeway. The freeway was kind of in this mountainy road where, those little, knee-high little metal guards that are sitting on the pieces of wood? I hope somebody knows what I'm talking about. If not, whatever, I'm crazy. Anyways, he kind of jumps over that and starts running off into these woods that are kind of by the freeway, right? And everybody is just kind of what is going on? And so somebody goes at that point. The guy who he had attacked is kind of laying there. People are talking to him and checking on him. But they go and they move his car back. They back it up to give some space, stop rear-ending the car in front of them. And they're like, wait, this car is there's nothing weird in it. They assumed that the guy was going to be super sketchy or something. But it wasn't like it was a car with anything illegal in it. If anything, they started to assume that it must have just been a stolen car, because who just leaves their car and runs off into the woods in the middle of traffic? Anyways, they're sitting there waiting. Sure enough, it takes like forever and a brick for the cops to even get there because now they can't leave because there's no one to move this car. And on top of that, the cops have to come through the traffic. So for a while, my friend is waiting there, and he's like, I'm gonna stay here until the very end. I need to figure out what's going on. So the cops get there, they start asking everybody what's going on. And my friend lives in a big city, but like at the time, he was on a freeway where there was traffic, but the freeway was connecting one big city to another big city, and in between there was like a small city. So the people that like responded to the scene were the cops of this smaller town, right? And they start describing the guy, and they look in the car, and sure enough, one of the officers goes around to check the glove compartment to see if there's like anything there that can help them figure out who it is. And almost at the same time, both of the cops are like, Randy. Like, I guess this dude, whoever it was just kind of known for like being a little bit wild and just doing crazy stuff, but it was his car. It wasn't stolen. It wasn't like there was anything bad in it. He had registered it to himself. His name's on all the paperwork. He had just freaked out, gotten in a little freak out over this thing, and ran off into the woods. And at this point, the guy who had kind of been fighting with him a little bit was like, whatever, I just want to go. Like, I just don't want to deal with this. I just don't want to deal with this. And so they couldn't really hold him there. Like, he wasn't crazy injured or anything. So he's like, I'm going to leave. And so the cops kind of asked everybody which direction Randy had run off to. And they kind of pointed off into the hills there. And they were like, yeah, his house is nearby. And they were like, okay, well, thank you. You guys can go. But we've got it from here. And so everybody that was still there gets in their cars and they leave. But yeah, the cops apparently just had to go over to Randy's house and like figure out what was going on. Alright guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just 1 second. If you take a look at your screen now, you will see a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give away a gift card in every single video I post here on this channel as a way to say thank you to all of you guys that are subscribed with those notifications on. So if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate you taking a second to turn on those notifications so you never miss another upload. And yeah, I'll shut up and get back to the video. Thanks. Like, how do you even roll up and do that? You just come up, knock on the door. Hey man, did you have a little freak out over on the freeway, attack someone, vandalize their car, crash into it, and then leave it there and run back? Nope, wasn't me, because like, you know, he's clearly crazy enough to deny it, right? And then, okay, well then why was your car there? I don't know, must have been my evil twin, Randy 2. He does that sometimes. He's just not a nice guy. Like, I just gotta understand what his plan was, dude. Did he just think they weren't gonna assume the car was his? Like, they just weren't gonna put 2 and 2 together? Not to mention how much crazy stuff you probably have to do to, like, get to the point where they just assume it's you. Ugh, Randy. Like, they just assumed that someone doing crazy stuff in this town was him. And listen, I'm not saying it's the largest town to ever exist, but like, it's impressive that the police all knew who he was. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's an impressive feat. You just gotta think what some of the other highlights would have been, dude. That's the biography I would kill for. I know everybody's like, oh, I want to read the biography of presidents and Nobel Peace Prize winners. I'm like, I want to know what Randy got down with in his 20s. Because if this is what he's doing when he's an old man just freaking out and doing crazy stuff, then you've got to imagine what it was like when he was younger, man. I'm not saying it's a good thing. Obviously, don't do this. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. The guy's clearly a nut job. But if he's already crazy, we might as well get the stories out of it. You know what I mean? Regardless, dude, he didn't really follow up much on Randy, but he did go home and kind of look up some stuff from the area. And there were some news articles that were like anonymous, you know, they didn't list who the person was, but it was like local resident caught doing just some crazy stuff. So yeah, sure enough, I guess all the police in that area got to know the 411 on Randy and what he gets down to. Yeah, be sure to keep an eye out for Randy. Word on the street is he got another golf cart, tried to dress it up like a car and take it to a car auction. Be on the lookout. You never know these days what exactly Randy's getting down to. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. If you don't know what to comment, just go ahead and comment the word Randy down there. It really helps me out. Other than that, if you use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout, it gives you a discount on G Fuel. Helps me out, so, you know, consider doing that. My podcast, The Scuffed Cast, down below, along with a link to the intro song. And if you take a second to look at your screen right now, you'll see the coolest merch to ever exist in the history of the planet, which can also be yours with a trip down to the description. But, yeah, on that note, guys, that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.